people start texting us saying like, better not come out of your house. We're watching you. Like, no,
What?
Granted, we're not at home at our house, but we started fearing for when we come home that some sort of repercussions.
You were getting like hate texts?
People on this thread
terroristic threats.
were
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Aloha Pools and Spas Deep Dive Podcast. I'm John Watts along with Brad Cook, and today we've got
Chemo Davidson, my niece, who's been here for a long time, and then Ethan Lawson, the newly appointed service manager. He asked for it, now he got it. Not sure if that's the greatest idea. And I'd like for some time for us to just interview Ethan himself as a part of what it's like to be a service manager, especially Ethan's got a really unique situation, unlike any other service manager that we've ever had, and that is that he spent how many years out in the field becoming a service technician?
13 or 14.
Really? Okay, yeah. Well, first I want to thank you.
Just this little. There we go.
Well, the big thing is I want to thank you for all your time here. That means the world to me. And but the reason we're here today is to talk about when we went viral. I say we went viral. It was a little bit of a viral Facebook share, and now
local viral.
What's that?
Call it local viral.
Local viral, right? That's fair. And you've gotten bits and pieces of the story.
I've seen it whenever you search you on Aloha. Sometimes it pops up on Facebook. You see snippets and you see screenshots of the chat and stuff. So I don't know the whole story, and I'm excited to hear.
Well, I'm not overly excited to tell the story. It's more of like an admission of this happening and like moving on past it, really. So the story starts on Christmas the year before, because every time that we get finished at Cindy's mom's house, as we grew as a family, Cindy and I are a blended family. We both have 2 and 2. So at that time, all of our kids were still going on vacation with us for the most part. I think that was one of the years that Molly was able to move her school stuff around, and it was one of the last years that we went on a vacation as a whole family unit. But it was something about that Christmas or the busyness of life or whatever was going on. I did not, like I normally do, after the gifts are open, they're all in there playing these games that I don't really play. So I'll get on the internet and I'll start thinking, where are we going to go for summer vacation? I didn't do that then. I didn't do it in January, February, March, April, May. I didn't do it in June, even though Cindy was on to me about it. And so Cindy just took it on herself. And she found, in the busiest time of vacation season, she found this VRBO that was available. It looked nice. Man, it was like, wow, it's interesting that you could find such a nice-looking VRBO 3 or 4 weeks before going on vacation. So we booked it. Table that.
Okay.
All right. And then it was in Tybee Island. She said, honey, everybody drives golf carts around Tybee Island, but there are none available. Why don't we take our golf cart? And I'm like, you want to put it on the trailer? Yeah, we're going to need to get a bunch of groceries anyway, and so we could put a bunch of coolers on the trailer. And I said, Tybee Island, how many miles is that? Well, I don't know how many miles. It's about a 13-hour drive. Let's roll. Let's do it. How do you get there? You just go down and go through Atlanta, and then you take a left out there and go out toward Tybee Island.
Left in Atlanta.
Yeah, somewhere out there. You go east in Atlanta, right? No big deal, right? No big deal. And I don't really know what was wrong with me physically at the time, but I have a little ailment here and there. And so the day before, I went on this. We went on this journey together. I had a steroid shot got elbow, all kinds of crap going on with me, right? So I took a steroid shot, and if anybody out there listening has ever had a steroid shot, you can kind of get a little bit a little bit frazzled, just a little bit, and so we were driving to Atlanta, and I'll also say, back then, our method of communication, which I always thought was a good idea, and I thought it was in the spirit of excellent communication, every single customer of ours was on a text thread between me and 17 other people, at least, something like that.
The maximum amount that it would let you text at the time,
Right.
much.
So it was me and Cindy. And John Blanton, the warehouse manager, whether he needed to be on there or not, he was on there. And if there was a salesperson involved, like if it was a construction job, it was the salesperson involved was on there. All the technicians that might be out there on a sales job, everybody. I mean, you think all the construction manager, a construction manager, all the lead guys, if it was their job or not, they just stuck on the thing, on the text thread. And in the service department, there's a whole different list of people that were on this.
There may not have been 17 on the service one. There was
don't know.
probably 5 or 6.
But I know it was Cindy and I, and probably John Blanton and the service manager at the time, which I guess might have been Brittany. Ethan was on there, and Ethan was a technician, and really it was not even in his area. But all day long, I remember stopping in, oh gosh, we had driven into Atlanta with this trailer, and we were in Atlanta traffic. For anybody that ever has to go to Florida or somewhere through Atlanta in the middle of summer. So I did that. I'd done that. And then I had this other customer that had called me while we were stopped at, the original Chick-fil-A. It was like this old school Chick-fil-A, and I think it was the original one. It was kind of on our way. So we were sitting out there in the parking lot, and I was just like, I was vibrating. I was on, this. This person was mad at me, and I handled that customer, and it was fine. And then I was thinking, my gosh, and the steroid, I didn't think I realized what, the steroid was doing to me, but all the stimulation from driving in a car full of crap, six kids in a or 6 of us in a Suburban, packed, every corner was packed full of stuff, and then that golf cart on a trailer, and 3 or 4 coolers, and it was hot, and that was just hot. It was 99% humidity. It was miserable. And as we get on out of Atlanta and we're headed over towards Tybee Island, this text thread starts coming up from some people who, one of our technicians who I'm sad to say, and when I say sad, I'm not sad at all to say, is no longer with us. All right? And this guy had left these people's pool on a Friday and left it in a shambles. And they were on vacation, and they get back, and they're mad. And it's not the first time that people get back from a Florida vacation. Have you ever had that? And they're just on edge, ready to fight.
Yes.
Sad to be back.
Yes.
I can think of another one. I'm not going to go down through there, but these people were fit to be tied.
Yes.
And quite frankly, looking back, I understand that, because the guy, the way he left the thing, and it was just like, yep, the bell or something. I don't know what happened that he got out of there. He got out of there, and the job wasn't done. So they get home and they're texting, and Ethan is on the thread, whether he needed to be or not. And Ethan was nice enough to be texting back and returning returning the text, and he was being quite lovely. And we got over to Tybee Island, and we walk into this freaking Airbnb, and it was hot. It was the air conditioner wasn't on. I don't know. Tell you, I think the owner, once we get it, would get it cooled down. The owner would see with his Nest system or whatever, he'd turn the air conditioner
every time.
Yeah, I'm like, it didn't matter what we did. It smelled, and my sense of smell.
Oh gosh.
It didn't have. It wasn't cleaned. It was this thing that got built probably in the 50s, and then it got added on to, and it did this and that. And it was, cameras can do whatever you can do whatever with trick photography, right?
Yes.
So we get here, and we're looking around, and whenever you get to a place and you're booked there for a week, you're looking around thinking, and I'll get out of something if I can, but there wasn't anywhere to go. We were stuck there with each other for a week. In the meantime, this text chatter is going on and on and on. I got this steroid vibration going on, and I'm thinking these guys aren't going to stop. These guys aren't going to stop texting. And this had been going on. Do anybody know how many hours they had been texting this?
It's 4 or 5.
4 or 5 hours
I'm seeing
back and forth?
I'm looking at some of it right now, but no, this is one of your hate mail texts that I'm seeing. Disregard, because I was going to say this one's at 1:46 p.m., but that's the next day when you were getting a threat.
Oh yeah,
So,
right.
I'm
I'm
trying to find all the texts,
right.
but it was several hours. Just
Yeah,
keep going. I'll let you know in just a minute.
So for the records, Ethan says 4 or 5 off and on. And it was on and on and on, and it was really just the fact is in the spirit of customer service, he's texting in the middle of the night. It's on East Coast time, so it was going on 11 o'clock. I'm pretty sure
It was 10 o'clock here.
10 o'clock here. It was going on 10 o'clock here. So I did the math for the thing, and I said, I said something like, do you guys have anything else to bitch about? Because I'd like for my people to be off by 10 o'clock on Saturday night.
I think it was 9.
Okay. But
Yeah.
You're saying 10?
9 or 10.
Yeah.
can find
Well, the
it.
time difference between over
Yeah.
there and here, I was thinking 11 because I was thinking really it was bumping
It was
10
we
o'clock.
like for our people to be off by around 9 p.m. on Saturday nights. So if you've got anything else to bitch about, how about finishing this up in the next 6 minutes? Or is that too much to ask? I guess we can go till 10 if you like.
That's right. I guess we can go to 10 if you like. Okay. All right. So in retrospect, I probably shouldn't have said that. But I felt like if we were going to talk about this, everybody needed to know what was going on in Brad's life.
There was some buildup
that led up to this. Yeah, I had just been through an absolute vacation hell, and it wasn't like vacation hell is over. It's like, this is just beginning, Brad. You got this for another week, and I said that, and it did not dawn on me. It was all about me at that point, but Ethan had been quite gracious. Like it could have been squashed a long time before then, because nothing else was going to happen between Saturday and Monday, and they could have just rightfully they had every right to be, and I regret saying it 100%. Also, I do know Ethan had given them all the customer service and was very polite, and all the back and forth was very polite. It just never came to a close, and I was ready for it to come to a close so I could be miserable on my vacation, and
as is tradition,
and this be behind us. Going back to the way the thing was left. I'm not going to say the service technician's name, but so you would just use a name like Rory, is that, I don't know, that just came out of nowhere. And so Rory should have maybe said, hey, this was left like this. Just want you to know I had to go to wherever he had to go. Didn't happen. And we didn't know about it. And so in today's world, I don't think we have anybody that would do that. Do you think, like anybody?
Not on purpose.
And yeah, and not to and in that his situation probably shouldn't go too far into that, but he's since been given the opportunity to be a customer, and I welcome him into the store to buy something, anytime. So after that, mayhem ensued on Facebook. And Chemo, what do you recall about what happened next?
I got a message on my Facebook privately first when I didn't even know exactly what was going on. I got something from somebody at work. I don't think I was on the service text thread Cindy sent it to me. It was like, what are we going to, this is going on. Oh my gosh. Right. And then I got a private message from a friend of mine, I don't know how they saw this because this was, in another state that was like, y'all got some stuff going on. Like, because they put it on Facebook as soon as you told them, like, we're not coming back or whatever after, all this or whatever you said, something inspired them to post it. So I started getting inboxes from people about that. And like even our cousin that we weren't even.
Because it spread. Thousands.
It did.
Saw this.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you can see like how many views something gets now, but it had like 700 and something shares and very quickly. And, a cousin of mine in Jackson, Tennessee called crying and she was like, this is going to ruin everybody. And, it was a very, it was an emotional thing.
I think everybody was getting canceled then as well.
Yeah, it was canceled. Because we're going to be canceled. And they were going to be canceled just by association, they thought. And, you had a few cheerleaders, though, that were on your side that were like, if anybody's responded to you at 9:00 at night from any business, you ended up having.
Right.
It didn't have the full effect that the post was intended to have. Now, you did have some.
Yeah.
The dog lovers of the world really were after you. They didn't realize you were also a dog lover.
Right. And so Cindy started posting.
So we should tell what happened there.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to tell that part?
Let Ethan tell.
So I was originally the one that got sent to reset the liner.
Okay.
We got it reset. There's one wrinkle left behind the main drain that was up against it. It wouldn't come out.
Right.
They was on vacation. Left Rory in charge to go back and remove the vacuums, sand, salt is on the steps, start to pull back up. Meanwhile, I text a homeowner on that group thread.
Right.
Told him all the wrinkles are out. We got all the hose patched from under the liner.
Right.
There's only one wrinkle that wouldn't come out. Told them where it was at. Apparently that was their biggest concern.
Mm.
That's where it went downhill.
Okay.
That's what started the text thread.
Okay.
Then Rory went back to complete the job, and that's when he let Cujo the dog out to roam the neighborhood. Had no clue they had a dog.
Okay.
It says it on all of our stuff. Dog, closed gate when you come through.
Oh, wow.
Apparently he didn't read it.
Okay.
If I ain't mistaken, the whole Jonesboro store was in the neighborhood to help him look for the dog along with all the neighbors. But
I forgot about that.
I don't remember that whole part of the dog getting out, but I do remember the dog being out and then was like jumping on them as they were trying to work.
Yeah.
And then
I think with permission,
they said, if you need to put the dog up, there was a text that said, if you need to put the dog up, you can put him in the kennel.
Maybe that was the first day they put him in the kennel, because that same dog got out of the fence the second time when they went back. So maybe they put it up the first day when it was jumping on when they was trying to pull the vacuums. The second day they went in, they just left the gate open because I guess they thought it was still in the pen.
They thought it was still in the kennel, but they didn't realize, and they left the gate open, and the dog got out.
Was all that after all of this? I mean, when they went back, was that after all this, or was it?
That was after.
After all of this went down, then. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That just added to it.
That made it worse. Yeah. So in the midst of all this going viral, that we got back there, and that's what you're saying. We got back there in the midst of all this going viral to work on it, finish working on it, and then the dog got out again.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But the dog was okay.
But in the beginning,
no dogs were hurt in the filming of this.
In the beginning, the outrage from the dog community was that Rory had put, when he was trying to fix the pool, the dog was jumping on him, and Rory put the dog in the kennel per the permission of the homeowners in the text. Right. Like, if this dog gets out, you can put him in the kennel. Well, Rory didn't let the dog back out of the kennel. Right. He just left him in the kennel because it didn't say if you put him in the kennel, let him back out of the kennel.
This is a pretty big kennel, though. It's like 6 foot by whatever. It wasn't like a small enclosure.
I don't know
10
the
by
size.
12.
Okay.
So it was a big one, like a little area. He had a space to use the restroom and all that. So I'm trying to clarify for
but
folks
it's not
watching.
like a dog house that you pick up and take them to the
Right,
vet.
it's not one of those small little kennels.
Not a
This
handheld
is
kennel.
a
This
this
is
is
a
a
real
fenced-in
kennel.
enclosure.
But in fairness to the dog, I think he was kind of a neat freak and didn't like to go to the bathroom in the 10 by 12 kennel.
his
So,
kennel.
Right.
yeah, so I mean,
which is what we were told on the text.
right.
but-
and kind of the after part of the
Yes.
back and forth, it seems.
Gotcha.
The dog was put in the kennel. That's why the dog community was mad, because he was in there for 24 hours.
Okay.
They didn't come home that day. Nobody knew they weren't coming home that day. And there was supposed to be a person that usually checked on their dog that was out of town or something else, too. There was 2 reasons that the dog didn't get
Oh, and
out
I
of
think
the kennel.
I think the dog community kind of started making the picture of me, like I'm sitting here in this, well, I've got videos of all of our jobs. I'm saying, make that dog stay in the kennel. I didn't know dog. I didn't know the dog was in the kennel. Like
I am the dog community here.
Okay.
I'm that
Okay.
guy, and I'm
right.
trying to be an impartial judge here.
Okay.
And I'm mad at whoever didn't come to check on my dog. I've gone on and trusted someone to take
And
care
I
of my
don't
dogs.
remember the details behind that, but
Yeah.
they weren't going to be home for 24 more hours, and they usually had a person, I believe, the way I remember it. Now, this has been a while. My memory's not 100%,
Right.
but I think they weren't just planning on their dog, even if it was out of the kennel, being just running through the neighborhood for 24 hours
Right.
either. So
do you think maybe the person who was in charge of taking care of the dog got caught up in all the reposting, then they forgot to go check on the dog or something? I don't know. That's a conspiracy theory out there
very
that I just put
possible.
out there. So we're sitting in Tybee Island, thinking like, okay, well let's see if we can just find something good about this vacation, and then the people start texting us saying like, better not come out of your house, we're watching you. Like, no,
What?
Granted, we're not at home at our house, but we started fearing for when we come home that some sort of
You were getting like
repercussions,
hate texts?
people on this thread
terroristic threats
were
of what
posting
they were
your
finding
personal information.
they could
It's
see my
here.
phone number.
And they
Oh,
were
wow.
posting your personal Facebook profile, not your business. They were
Yeah.
posting screenshots on the text thread of your personal stuff, your
Right.
phone number. Some people were posting screenshots of the text they had sent you going off on you.
Oh, right.
Oh, wow.
Like, I got him.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and I was envisioning getting home and the place where we live. I'm thinking like, okay, where might these people be hiding? And like, what do I need to do? That I don't think we have a gate that's never closed. And so, I remember sitting there thinking, okay, like, what are we going to do when we get home? Because I didn't know. I don't know.
You thought
I mean,
there'd be
people don't say-
protesters.
I don't really know, but I mean, Cindy and I were scared, quite honestly, that we were like, what are we going to come into when we come home? With like people that the dog lovers. I mean, you don't.
For example, this lady said, I would post my message to them, but it's too inappropriate to post on here.
Wow.
So, and people
Yeah.
were very excited that they were threatening y'all and belittling y'all and telling everybody what a piece of crap they were. And
Yeah.
it was like the group mentality was getting like ramped up over everybody be rude to Brad.
We were being lynched. I mean, like social media lynching right there, and it was coming directly. So obviously, screenshot. Our numbers are on there for everybody to just have their say
It's
whatever they
like,
wanted to say to
I
us.
think
so.
next Saturday night, everyone needs to text him after 9. Just like they were like
Right.
just
Yeah, for sure.
group
Did you save any of
texts to
those?
harass you.
Any of those?
Did I save any of the? No,
Yeah,
I
or
don't
see
I
any
don't-
of those,
Just, it's not a memory I care to.
Right.
Yeah, and doing this, Cindy. I said, Cindy, listen, I want you on the meeting. She was like, on this podcast. She said, I don't want to be on it. And she said, well, I think it's bad, to bring it back up. And I said, you know what? It's just, it's something that basically, really, when it boils down to it, it made us better because, you kind of got to get your lesson. When anything that you say is can and will be held against you in the days of social media, but it also was, and I don't know that this was the catalyst, but I think at least in the back of my mind when we started putting in a little bit of a management structure here to where the company got a little bit big for me to be just a kind of, I can't be the manager over everything. And we all got together and thought, what is our North Star? And it was just delivering 5-star customer service. Well, that was our North Star before, or we wouldn't have been on a text thread with everybody that might know something about a customer.
Right.
On every single customer that we interacted with, for every single service customer, every single customer that was involved with construction. Like I and Cindy were on every single text thread. That's how involved we were, and still are. Cindy not so much, but it's all in the spirit of customer service. So. Yeah, I mean, and I kind of I feel bad about it, but in a way, you know, I've had plenty of people that were in business, especially in the pool business. I had one guy, I'm not going to say his name, but he said you're kind of a folk hero in the pool business. I'm like, what do you mean? And he said, well, you said something that every single pool person would like to say to the customer, but so I've said since that. That every person in the pool business would like to say, or everybody in business would like to say, but smart enough not to.
Everyone deals with problem customers or difficult customers to some degree in every aspect of business. And here you had already had extenuating circumstances. You had some very stressful moments of a vacation, all of that kind of built up,
right? And
then now you have a problem with a customer that, albeit was caused by Aloha's guy, mm-hmm. who kind of didn't necessarily display a certain level of service that had come to be expected.
That's right.
And then, but I think if everyone could have remained professional from every angle, we might not have had the viral situation.
I think it's the dog.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was what I said. I mean,
right.
No, but I think it's the dog, the whole thing. You said something that was ugly, but I think they were upset because of the dog. The dog people of the world, which you said you are one.
Yeah. Right. Just recently, you see the UPS guy who was delivering a package. The dog comes running out, and he throws like a 30-pound package that hits the dog. The dog yelps and runs. And then the owner comes out and it's like, hey, buddy, what is going on here? And he squared up. You see him, like the UPS guy, like squared up. Have you seen this video yet?
No.
Like he's going to fight the customer. He's going to fight the homeowner that comes out. And, of course, all the dog lovers immediately, like I was one of them. I'm like, you know, why are you throwing a package on the dog? Like, relax a little. Or the dog that got shot in Los Angeles. That was another one. That dog comes running out and the police shot him. And in all these instances, being a dog lover, it kills me to see the animal go through those kind of situations. But I'm not hearing that from a rational. The dog got out. He wasn't harmed.
No, he wasn't harmed. But they were upset that their dog was in their kennel for longer than they wanted him to be. And they say he doesn't like to go to the bathroom in his kennel.
And that's fair.
And so they were emotionally charged.
Do you remember, do you think that they were so emotionally charged about that, or was it the pool wasn't done and the mess was left?
I think it was more the pool.
Do you think it was? Because that's my memory of it.
Because
that's what I would
swim lessons, and they had swim lessons like the day they were supposed to come back.
Right.
And they had to be ready by then.
Right.
But in y'all's defense, Cindy did also tell them in that group text when it all started that it had been a year since your mom had died. And y'all just drove. Huh?
Dad, anniversary.
Oh, I thought it was mom. Okay. Mm-hmm. And y'all just drove 13 hours to the beach. So let's drop this. We'll talk about it in the morning.
Right.
And that's when it kept on. And that's when.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't remember that, but and I think the whole if there's one thing could come out of this story, when you bring like the UPS driver, or we've got people in our family that are terrified of dogs. And you
Yes.
probably don't need to be a UPS driver if you're terrified of dogs, but it just say that, do we know at one point if the guy was bit by a dog, or if whatever was going on in this guy's day, was he? You never know if he lost. You know, if his wife left him. I mean, you never really know what every single person's story is in a given day. For him to come to now, this guy might have been a real jackwad. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he looked pretty unhinged whenever he like. But I understand from a dog owner's perspective. My first instinct is, I want my dogs to be safe.
Right.
So my dog would not have accosted the UPS. He would be inside. He would be in a fenced-in area. He would be, if you come to fix my pool, my dogs are inside or they're already in the kennel. Right. I have someone taking care of them that I can trust, or I will be home. I've never left my dogs 24 hours that I didn't have one of my daughters or someone there. And I'm not trying to.
That's why I think it went so viral. That's my opinion. You think it's over the dog, but that's the emotion.
Yeah,
the dog has been suffering and our pool's not finished.
Right.
Like, if you just get home and the pool's not finished, you're mad. Right. But then you're like super mad because you feel sorry for your dog.
Right.
They wouldn't have cared if we locked the kid in the kennel for a day as much as they were locking the dog in the kennel for a day. Right.
Now, from a PR standpoint, I can also understand that, no, you shouldn't have said that. You messed up. And no, 100%.
Right.
And but I think that your willingness to and that's what the whole point of this exercise is, to acknowledge, yes, mistakes were made.
Yeah.
Learning has occurred. Going forth, we've adjusted the way we do things almost based on that accident or not incident, not an accident, but incident, the situation that happened, to make sure that customers don't have to go through that again and be put in that situation, et cetera.
Like, if they just knew how to get a hold of me, we could avoid a whole lot of that type of stuff, because our dedication to customer service has not actually changed since then. It's just we've gotten better at sorting through it, and I can tell you that I was on the phone with a lady the other day, and I've been on the phone with Brittany on a service call customer before, and it is a practice that I have put into place since we started. We changed our management to where these people can tell me just about whatever they have to say, and I'm like, oh yes, yes sir, whatever it is, and I just sit and listen to them talk, and now I don't. I want to say things sometimes, John. I'm just going to tell you.
We all do.
Okay. I want to say things sometimes, and I don't get to say it anymore, and it's okay, because it's in more times than not, when people are mad, they've got every bit right to be.
And they had a right for their pool not being finished, and
and coming home. It's coming home from a vacation. It's like we said, we've seen it with other customers before. It's not always the best time. It's like, well, they didn't really want to be done with vacation. Now they got to go back to real life, and so you kind of on. And if you're in that Atlanta traffic coming back, we'll say, and then you're frazzled when you get home, and then you see the thing that I was looking forward to dropping my body down into is, it's not done,
finished.
and there's sandbags laying around. They had a right to be mad. For sure.
It's like they might have had the experience coming back, like my friend Jasmine did the other day, and they came back from the Myrtle Beach area, and they debated on stopping on the way. They didn't, to a kid that's 6 and 3, and she's like, I'm so scared if we don't stop the last 4 hours of this drive, we're gonna be terrible. Well, they didn't stop, and she's texting me going, worst thing ever, I'll never do this again. This is awful. Everybody is on edge. Everybody's tired. They're worn out. You spent all this money. You haven't slept in your bed. It's just, if she had come into a pool problem, she would have probably just
let somebody have it. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. We work on her stuff or no?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Well, wow.
Thank God it was working.
Her pool was working when she got home. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, what are the main takeaways that you want folks to get from this, Brad?
I think
why did we bring it all back up?
Well, no, I think the most important thing, if you can say, if there's anything in the world that you can take from this, would be plan your vacation early. Do not take a steroid shot. Do not drag a golf cart through Atlanta with a cooler full of food and
very
drinks.
specific.
And know where you're going to stay. That's exactly where that perfect storm. Now, actually, no. From a business standpoint, just listen to the customer and probably would say let's find a stopping point on the conversation and say this is when we'll pick back up on it on Monday. We'll say because that's
set that boundary.
Yeah, we should. I think we should set that boundary, and we probably have. We've moved on to our service department now has, which is really good. What were you going to say?
I was going to say it goes to a certain point in the evening, and then it says you've reached our service department after hours. We'll be glad to get back with you, and that connects directly to your account. So they know it's not going to just a bunch of people's phones who are at home.
Exactly.
Who may be vulnerable to having a human moment. You had a human moment.
Yeah, exactly.
And
exactly.
So.
But also to add to that, that text lives there forever as opposed to where is that text in my phone and start searching keywords and all that. Instead, you just go to their file. That text and that phone call, little shout out to Service Titan and the Aloha service software. Any text, any ticket, any phone call all recorded. Yeah, so that's made life a lot better for the customers.
That's why
and
Ethan has
as well.
the easiest role here.
Yeah, right.
Because of
He's
all
the
that.
Service manager.
So it just makes it so easy now.
He's only the fourth service manager this year.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, a little plug for Ethan though. That I think we're in a really unique spot now because we have somebody that knows what somebody's talking about when they call, and some things can probably be fixed over the phone, and I think it's going to be the most cohesive of a setup I think that we've ever had. I look forward to that. But no, yeah, the biggest takeaway is that you gotta look at a customer from their standpoint, and I think we tried. I think, and you just got to be superhuman. I think when you're doing that, practicing that is who was I talking to? Oh, that said I might have been. I'm not gonna say Chaco's name, but that I say, you're just you're gonna have to. Well, that's not my personality. Here's an idea. It's not my personality either. But I'm not going to say Larry's name either. That's who it was, though. And I said, no, I did it. You can do it.
You remember when I first suggested you needed to read Hug Your Haters, and you're like, nah.
I don't hug my haters. I hug somebody I hate. Now I remember that book. I remember you saying
Hug
that.
Your Haters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a book that one of the trainings I went to, they gave us the book of Hug Your Haters. Right. It's basically anybody that's got a problem, don't come at them, just like listen, embrace, try to be.
Squeeze the life out of them.
And since I have since I have started hugging my haters, I didn't think about that. That's what I'm doing. What it has done for me is that this spa, this lady was in Illinois, close to the vineyards, in Illinois, was mad because they were 2 hours late. And you and I know that that happens sometimes. Just because if they're the second call, you got to get the first call done. So, and I got to talk with the lady, and we just started going back and forth, and she started telling me about her favorite wineries and where you go to go to wineries out west and where to go out west and all that. By the end, we were buddies, and they were just their expectations were a little bit maybe more than what but I think they liked hearing from me, and that now we were just like best of buddies. I said, keep my number, which by the way is 731-431-8199. And I keep my phone number as public as I possibly can, just so in case somebody feels like they need to talk to the owner, I'm gonna try to make myself available, and don't hide behind Ethan and Chemo there.
And the best time to contact you is anytime after 9 p.m.
After 9 o'clock. If you
on the weekend.
And I'll try to have be hyped up on a steroid shot too when you do that.
All right.
What were you going to say?
Well, I was just saying, like,
Final thoughts.
on that it's not even on this. It was just like what you said. You were 2 hours late. We were 2 hours late getting there. I didn't understand that before, when I was first a grown up and I had to wait on cable and they would give me like a 4-hour window.
Right.
And I thought, why can't they just tell me a time,
Right.
I didn't understand until I got more involved here. Like, okay, because maybe this job we were just at takes 20 minutes or maybe
Right.
it takes 3 hours. I didn't understand that at one point in my life until I worked here. So, I mean, I don't think everybody understands. Like, Ethan doesn't know if a pump change out is really going to be a pump change out and take this amount of time or whatever. So I think
That's kind of like whenever you go to a restaurant, the people who are the best tippers are generally those that were waiters or waitresses in their previous life, because you understand when those people are going through, oh man, it's really busy here, there's a lot going on. I can understand that they're trying really hard. I'm probably going to tip better than the person that has never experienced it from their shoes and maybe doesn't have the same level of empathy.
Well, but on the other side of that, not having experienced it, I think sometimes we get people who have not been or not grown up to be a consumer yet, who have not been burned by a service company, who've not had to wait on people. And so it becomes like, well, you rescheduled to, and I say that to the service office. What I say, Ethan, about texting and calling?
Good news, text. Bad news, call them.
So, yeah, so text, and we're still working on that. But because I'll say, you've been rescheduled for 2 weeks from now. I'm like, no. It's just, hey, here's the thing. We ran into this and this and this and this. All truth. Tell the truth. We messed up, whatever. And now it's going to be this very, very sorry. I hope you understand what's going on. We're going to do everything we can to, and not let's text. I understand it's because I don't have to walk a day in their shoes. So it's easy for me to say that. And this, they say, yeah, but this person will talk to you for an hour and a half about anything. So I understand their side too. Is coming up with that balance. So even if it's a super apologetic text, and like that might be middle ground right there, but just instead of just saying you've been rescheduled. So but the point is like it's two sides. We need to think of ourselves as consumers and what's that going to feel like on the other side of the the side of the message. So,
and I see this a lot over the years, and I understand it. I haven't always maybe understood it this well, but their pool is a huge investment. And
it is
a small thing to us, like, oh, it's a little leak or it's this, we know that can be fixed. We know it's not an emergency. We know that pool is not anything going to be.
Exactly.
But they don't always know that. Like, they think, and I understand my huge investment has a problem. That's like, woo,
Liner
and so
floated.
It's like
liner floats. That's I think Jamie.
We talked about that on the service podcast earlier.
And they think this is, and so it's very emotional to them. This is my investment. My investment is something's wrong with it. It's maybe never going to be fixed again. And we might not see the, especially somebody who's been here forever. That's nothing. That's nothing to somebody who can fix something quickly, but it's huge to them. So the emotions get a little misaligned there. They think, well, y'all don't even care. But it's like, we just know we can fix it easily. Like, so it gets a little emotional.
I think a lot of companies are afraid to say, I'm sorry, we messed up. Because the nature of Americans a lot of time is they're so litigious these days. Everyone wants to, I'm in some Facebook pool groups and almost every one is about how we're in year 2 of suing the pool installer. And I'm like, oh gosh, that didn't work out well. So it's interesting that we actually do say, hey, listen, we messed up. We're sorry. We're going to fix you.
Are you on any of those Facebook pool owner groups? You ever watch it? You ever notice how these people who get on there and say, you're going to need to tear that out and build a new one. Like, and I think, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. And that it drives me a little bit crazy that a customer thinks it's a good idea to put this out in Facebook land because they have no idea, and all these people are going to just freak them way out.
And we're not talking about just our customers. These are like
this is random.
Yeah, just so that the people in podcast land know.
Lord, no.
I joined above ground pool owners, in ground pool owners, chemical groups.
But it's not just pools; it's all Facebook groups.
Yeah.
The being a dog owner, I'm in some different dog groups, and to watch people. Listen, my dog, both of its eyes have exploded and it's bleeding from its mouth and face, and its skeletal structure is jelly now. What should I do? Is there something I can do? And people are like, take it to the vet. Why are you posting on Facebook? Why have you gone to the vet? That's
there's an idea. Call somebody that does that for a living.
Right.
No,
quit asking
exactly
Joe down the street.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I'm saying, because then this fear. No, it could be on the dog level thing. It could be my dog is vomiting, and they can't control it. Oh well, you're gonna have to put it down. Or what if you just take it to the vet?
Right, take it to the vet.
Maybe nothing wrong.
Get
at
off
all.
Facebook. What are you doing?
Or you get in the pool groups, all these people doing their homemade remedies that are totally freaking wrong.
Right.
And then I'm sitting there at midnight going, no, you need. I'm like, why am I doing this?
I've stopped doing it.
I used to do it, and I thought, I am sitting here like, no, you need to do this, and I'm like.
Or somebody that I know that knows what they're talking about, and then somebody will start busting on them. And and I just start supporting that guy. Oh my gosh!
Well,
I see, Dave comments. He used to comment on a lot of them. You know, I'll just thumb up Dave's comments now if I see him, or Maggie or some of them. They're in them too.
I'm amazed at the time that these people, extra spare time these people have to speak their voice on that.
Some of the groups,
Peter, I'm like, Peter, you got a lot going on. Wow,
why are you doing?
You're everywhere.
Some of the groups don't even want. If you are involved in the pool industry, you can't answer.
They don't.
And it's like, well, who do you want to answer?
Yeah, who's the expert?
Think that pool companies just want to get your money and not actually help you.
Oh,
and we're on there volunteering our hours a night.
Right.
How old is the sand in your filter?
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and I've seen people, this certain type of pool that's being built. That my buddy Pancho, he said, I'm going to build me one of these. What are the styrofoam block pools? And
I don't even know.
Anyway, I'm losing it. But they build basement walls out of them. It's nice. It's good in insulation and all that. So, well, how are you going to mount your bead receiver around the top of the pool? So, well, I'm going to saw off that, and pour me a concrete ledge to mount it to. I'm like, okay, well, how long is that going to take? And by the time he can tell me what he's going to do to get this pool, to make this pool the ICF blocks. That's what it is. I could have had the pool built. Like, we could have had the pool built.
Right.
And they could have moved on. And I like the things that they'll do. They'll jump on over dollars to save dimes sometimes. That's fine. I mean, if somebody wants to do that, more power to them. I do not blame them. But it's funny to watch people do.
Some interesting redneck engineering.
Yeah, it's for sure. For sure. On occasion, we'll get somebody come in, say, we'd like for you to put a liner in this pool for us. And we go look at it thinking, man, just had to do it yourself, didn't you, buddy? But we don't say it. We don't say it anymore. No, sir.
I wonder where are these people's wives? Because every time I go out in my yard and I'm like, I could dig a pond. I bet I could dig a pond. And my wife's like, stop.
Right. Exactly.
Listen, you can't dig a pond. Right. Just stop it. And I'm like, I could watch some YouTube videos. I bet I can figure it out. And she's like, you don't even understand. What are you doing? Right. So she keeps me in check a lot of times. Every time I get an idea that I'm going to go be handy,
Yeah.
So
more wives need to start doing that.
Exactly.
Cindy knows exactly what to do. The things that I could do, she calls somebody else. She knows better. Thank you, honey. Oh, goodness.
Well, I think maybe that draws us to a close. So it was a fun one. Lessons have been learned. We've
very much so.
Sometimes these get a little raw. We've done the mean tweets. We've done some things where we've talked about not so perfect scenarios here at Aloha, how we've handled them, and how you can expect to deal with us as a customer going forward. And hopefully we've learned and we'll take care of you and be the person that you choose for your pool project. So with all that being said, thank you for listening and watching. another edition of the Aloha Pools and Spas Deep Dive Podcast. We appreciate you and dive safely.
Thank you, Ethan. Yeah, she's got that face right.
All right.
The people start texting us saying like, "Better not come out of your house. We're watching you." Like, no,
what?
Granted, we're not at home at our house, but we started fearing for when we come home that some sort of
You were getting like
repercussions,
hate texts?
People on this thread
terroristic threats
were